Okay. Hey guys, welcome. One second. Okay, welcome back to Marsha Speaks. This is Marsha, and I'm bringing you Bonnet Chronicle Teas. But this is Marsha after work, and I am doing a review on Charmed, see season 2, episode 12. And let's get right into it. The episode starts off with it was very not charm central, like centric, and I don't know how I feel about that. But anyways, the episode starts off with the institution that they had the original White Lighters in. The Helens, they never really gave the Dark Lighter of Helen a name. Like Harry's Dark Lighter's name is Jimmy, because he went based off of the he went based off of the actual person's name. Hey, welcome. Okay, so yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. I try to break the review notes down to like subgroups, but they didn't really work out that way. And I just ended up just watching the TV show and yelling at the TV show, wondering why Macy was being so dumb. That's how this episode pretty much went. So the episode starts with a nurse and a security guard trying to give the Dark Lighter Harry some food. Yes, we'll call her Heather. Heather and Helen. That was the name we're gonna give them. Thank you. We're just gonna call the Dark Lighter Heather because I just got sick of calling her Dark Lighter when that's just her type. That's not her name. So, anyways, so some type of disturbance happens at the front desk area, and the security guard that was with the nurse has to leave because of course it's a disturbance, and the nurse leaves too, and she like close the door behind her, but she doesn't close it all the way. And my friend, that doesn't make sense because as someone who actually used to work in a hospital, if you are on lockdown, first of all, usually, like if you're on a psychiatric hold, they don't let the patient by themselves at all. But I guess this is a psych ward, so maybe there's like different types of rules. I've never worked in a psych ward before, but I would think that the nurse would be more conscious of what she's doing. But thank God that the nurse wasn't that aware of her surroundings because that is what ended up saving Helen. No, Heather. So I put Tulip Institute, but I'm pretty sure my notes autocorrected the actual name of the institute. And basically, they find out that Heather has gone missing, and everybody, I'm guessing that was pretty much at the institute, the security guard and a couple other people, and the evil scientist that was trying to kidnap Heather are all dead. And I'm not necessarily mad at it. Like Heather, it was self-preservation. A lot of the stuff that she did, lies, not a lot, but some of the stuff that she did was self-preservation more so than her need to kill people. So I'm just getting sick of Harry's like self-entitlement that, oh my gosh, we have to kill all the bad guys. Like if you're a good guy, where's your compassion? Like I'm confused. And also you have the incessant need to tell, this is a sidebar, but you have an incessant need to tell Abigail that you guys can't be together because you're a demon, but isn't Macy part demon? So does that make you a hypocrite? It still doesn't make sense, and nobody's calling him out, especially Maggie. When you were about to marry a demon, how have you not called him out for being a hypocrite? It doesn't make sense. Yeah, the nurse made sure that the door was shut behind her. But good thing that that didn't happen. From there, we see the power of three trying to get their spells to work, and you see it working for Maggie and Mel. But when it gets to Macy, it just kind of fizzles out and dies. Like you can literally see the triangle, and Maggie and Mel's section is like blazing and acting perfectly fine. And then when it finally gets to sorry, not Maggie and Mel's section. But when it finally gets to Macy's section, it's like non-existent. So now, of course, Macy's depressed because the witch side of her is getting rejected, and we all know she has abandonment and rejection issues, and she basically thinks, based off of her conversation, that her demon side is what's stopping her witch side from being able to use the power of three. And I just found that to be, I was like, okay, the logic makes sense, but for someone who the episode before spent like basically the majority of the episode trying to get scientific evidence before she acted, it was it was a bunch of like hypocritical moves this episode because she jumped the gun and assumed that her demon powers were the reason why she wasn't getting her witch side or her witch powers to work. But the episode before, you didn't want Abigail to give Harry a, vaccine, I guess, for his, I guess it would be like a poison or anti-poison, whatever, because you wanted to make sure that it was a poison. So like, where is that same consistency for yourself? Because you literally made the stupidest decision I've ever heard. And if y'all saw me like watching this episode, you see me literally yelling at the screen, wondering why Macy was being so stupid. You're supposed to be the smart one. When did you become the stupidest one of them all? Like, I don't get it. Yeah, like maybe right. I agree with you. Like write a spell to get her charm side back. That would work. Maybe they're probably gonna like find a reason why that doesn't work. But like, or at least do some type of like inner. You know how like there was that one episode when Phoebe went to the charm school and she sat like basically was in her yoga stance and she was doing an inner journey with herself to see what was going on with herself, and that's how she knew that she was going to have girls later on in the future. I don't know why they didn't do that with Macy to find out what is blocking her charm side, because she literally put all her bets in one basket and failed. So from there, after the power of three doesn't work, Mel meets a bartender who is I think they said her name was Ruby, and I guess that's her new love interest because we can't get rid of love interest. This is CW, Marsha. What do you expect? And I also noted that they are moving Maggie and Jordan's love interest along as well, which I found interesting that we are kind of focusing on love interests, but then last episode's love interest focus was Macy by herself, and this episode's like it's like the dude was not even here. Like they barely acknowledged that Macy's in a relationship. But yeah, that was interesting. So they connect, they don't connect. Macy goes to Macy goes to Abigail for help. Mind you, before this happens, like when Macy asks Abigail for help, Abigail has a dinner date with yes, like introflexion. Thank you. Or interflexion. Thank you. Like, why didn't they do that before she made the dumb decision of giving her powers away? But neither here nor there. We're not there yet. So Macy, Abigail and Harry have a dinner date, and like, this girl is sprung. She goes all out, candles, favorite meals, like all of it, and just for Harry to tell her once more, like she didn't know already, that you're part demon and we can't be together. And I'm like, but every time you need her, she come through though. And not that let's see, Abigail as a character, they write her so well. Because I'm like, your reasonings don't make sense. And I'm confused as to why Abigail herself hasn't said, but Macy's part demon. Like, what? The love of your life is part demon. That we're assuming is the love of your life because you're obsessed. Like, it's part demon. What? That's what I'm saying. They Apocalypse World, first she said they shouldn't date. Now all of a sudden they like each other enough to date. What? It doesn't make sense. Where's the consistency? But that's what I'm saying. Like I've been noticing as the season progresses, Harry's been very like one-sided about it. I feel like it's his way of reaffirming that he's the white lighter one and that he can't have as Maggie, as Maggie says later on in the episode, that life is not black and white. There's shades of gray. And he's like, oh, I'm a white lighter. There's no shades of gray for me. And I'm like, that's not true. All of season 1 was you being shades of gray. What? It's like once he realized that the foundation of his identity is being shaken, that's when he wants to reaffirm even more some of the stupid nonsense that the previous elders were doing. Like, what? Thank you. Why would Macy even trust Abigail? I've been saying this from episode 1. I don't trust the girl. I like her as a character. I think she's pushing them to at least in the audience point of view, like to realize how stupid the charmed ones are being. But we have consistently been saying this on this corner of YouTube that we shouldn't trust Abigail. You don't trust her as far as you can throw her. This is a mutual symbiotic relationship when it comes to information because we need you to be in power so that you can leave us alone type of thing. Like it's like one country dealing with a country that they don't really trust only to like keep the peace. That's what we need. That's the type of level of energy we need to give, not the oh my god we friends when we're not. Because over here you throwing shade that Harry rejected her because we see that because she burned the food when Harry left, but we don't see like but y'all supposed to be friends. Like it doesn't make sense. To lower my blood pressure, we're gonna go over to Helen's storyline, and the reason why not Abigail Harry left, just too much H's in the show. So too many M's and too many H's. Like give me some other letters. But anyways, Harry leaves because Helen sends him a phone call. Yeah, it was a phone call, not a text. A phone call, basically asking for help, and he leaves. And Abigail, I don't know if Abigail thought it was. I'm pretty sure Abigail thought it was Macy calling, and that's why she was pressed. But that's how he knows that when they got there, Heather has, run away. Now we go further down into the storyline. Down the rabbit hole we go. Da 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 da. Macy believes that, yeah, like the idiot that she is, Macy believes that her demon house has gotten too powers have gotten too strong and is displacing her witch power. It kind of makes sense, but at the same time, the whole first half of this season, it was your witch power literally saving their butt. No, sorry, it was your demon powers saving the butts every single episode. So I'm confused as to why all of a sudden your demon powers are not good enough. Okay. To when Macy gets to what's her name? We're gonna leave them alone. So Helen and then is this where I stop with the notes? Yes, Helen, the main what's her name? Harry brings Helen to the headquarters, and Helen, she can barely put two. They really messed up that poor woman. But she basically confirms that white lighter cannot kill a dark lighter, a dark lighter cannot kill a white lighter. It is impossible, and that is what confirms to Harry that Jimmy isn't dead. And I was like, really, bro? That's what did it, not common sense, but okay. And when she gets there, they find out like Maggie has a premonition that Heather is somewhere in Plymouth Rock in Massachusetts, and they try to figure out how to get there. And by they, I mean Maggie and Harry go. When Maggie and Harry get there, they find out I think she killed somebody else. The house that used to be hers turned into a convenience store, and now she's there. She's searching for something. Fast forward back to Helen and Mel. They are discussing like her life. We find out that her life was tragic from the beginning. She was married off at a young age. She was 15, 16, and ended up marrying a 45-year-old, but she was in love with another dude named Daniel. Daniel died at 30. As that game West, like Trail Road to Wild Wild West, or something like that. Everybody died of consumption back in the day, so living to 30 was considered a miracle. So it's pretty like her whole life. They really emphasized for us, like we couldn't think for ourselves, that she didn't have any choice of her own. I guess her parents married her off, and then the elders sucked, all the possible joy that she could have ever had, and here we are. I just found it okay. We're gonna do that for the end motion. So that is what is happening. So we find out the reason why Heather is going to Plymouth Rock is because I'm guessing she still has all the memories that Helen has as well, and she's trying to find at least some type of physical attribute of where Daniel is or where her sense of home is, which was very sad. And then from there, what's her name? Maggie calls Mel, asks for help, and she explains the whole sad story. And where are we? Maggie asks for help. Now they find themselves at a gravesite with a lot of graves. looking for the specific one that is Heather's love. They get there, and this is where we find out that Harry's getting my last good nerve. Like, Maggie, being the empath that she is, realizes that there's good in this woman, and that Lily is just a manifestation of all the bad things that's ever happened to Helen. And, Heather's the only one that is really feeling it, I guess. And not really feeling, because we see Helen feels it too, but I guess the real impact of those emotions has been festering with Heather versus Helen. And like, she explained to Heather, like, reasoning with her, like, yo, we are not the elders, like, we are trying to help you. We want you to live your life and, do all this stuff. And then in the background, you see Harry with this, like, a large log stick about to whack this woman. And I'm like, and then he's saying, like, yeah, we're here to help. And I'm like, but you got a stick in your hand about to give this woman a concussion. Like, it doesn't really, this episode, giving everybody blood pressure. From there, they, Heather, Harry, and Maggie go back to headquarters, and they are separating them with the veil. And Helen asked if they can merge them, and he said that that's never been done. And that's when the sisters are discussing that it doesn't really matter. Like, this woman never had options. Let her have the option of being merged, even if though it could be dangerous. I thought that was beautiful because it's true. Like, if it was successfully done with them, that means that maybe by the end of the season, or at least the beginning of next season, that would be what would happen to Harry. But we find out later that that's not what happened, because Macy goes to the Book of Elders trying to see if they can find the merge thing, and Heather doesn't really pay attention. All she hears is elders, and she goes berserk, and she's choking. Like, she pushes the girls away, gets past Harry, and starts choking Macy. And I'm like, y'all are some weak. Like, this is a weak crew. How is it she got past everybody to make it to Macy? How? How is that possible? How did Heather do that? It didn't make sense. Like, I don't. This is why Abigail is a stronger opponent, because best believe her goons would never let that happen. Like, that didn't make sense. But okay, because I guess Heather's strong enough. Heather makes, even though she's been in an asylum basically her whole life, but okay, Heather makes it to Macy and chokes the life out of her, and nobody for some reason can catch her breath. It's not like Mel has the power to freeze or anything like that. And Helen decides to stab herself to stop Heather from killing Macy. Harry tries to save her, but we find out that you can't heal self-inflicted wounds. And this is where the part I thought was really interesting in the episode. Not Macy, Heather actually was absorbed into Helen before they both died, and that means that I guess in a way they can get merged back together. So maybe there is hope for Harry later on in the episode. At least that's what I'm hoping. Sorry. Let's see. No, Macy didn't trust Abigail even when she did heal Harry, because she was mad that you didn't wait for the DNA synthesis to complete it before you gave Harry the transfusion. So I'm confused why she thought that Abigail was her friend. I think Macy's distorted to, like, she wants to be like the other sisters so badly. Like, she wants her wish side to work so hard that she is covering herself from actually seeing the dangers of that her actions may cause to them as a whole. Like, it didn't make sense. Yeah, Heather was on a killing spree. I'm not gonna lie. But I don't know if it's a need to murder people. That's the way she did it, or if it's like, this is the fastest way to get you out of my way, and to do that, I'm gonna need to kill you. Because I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, did she kill her transportation to get to Plymouth Rock? I can't remember. I don't think she did, right? She didn't kill the dude that stopped in the middle of the road for her. I think she just killed the convenience store person. So, because I don't think we found the body of the driver. So maybe she just saying, like, okay, if you're not here to help me, you're against me. Yeah, Heather, that's what it was. Her that phrase, "Book of Elders." All she heard was elders. It's like, no, you are the enemy. It's time to kill you. Da-da-da-da. Yes, when she was negotiating with I mean Maggie was negotiating with Heather, she literally had a knife to Heather's neck. I understand why Harry had the stick, but at the same time, it's like it was just the way the conversation was going that was so hilariously ironic. It's like I'm trying to convince you not to kill me, and it was working, but at the same time, you still had this thing in the background trying to give her a concussion. Like, what? Ooh, I hope you bring up a good point. I hope Jimmy doesn't know that the way to kill Harry is to kill himself. Because that'll be like the last ditch attempt to stop anything from happening. Yeah. I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt that she didn't kill her driver. Only because I don't want her to. That's literally the only reason. There's no rhyme or reason to it. But I just want to believe that she's only killing people who are in her way. Because the first person that she killed was someone that was trying to kill her. And the second person that she killed was someone that she thought was stealing her home. Because, in her mind, she thought the Plymouth Rock Place house was still there, when in actuality, it turned into a convenience store. And she doesn't know what a convenience store is. So I'm just going to say confusion did that, even though that's not necessarily true. So jumping back to Macy and her foolishness. So Macy goes to Abigail and asks for help. They throwing shit at each other 24/7. And Macy, this is what I'm saying, that I think the Abigail Macy relationship is awkward for both of them, because Abigail did the same thing. Like Abigail didn't have to show Macy that Parker was alive, because the only person that knows that Parker's alive now is Macy and Abigail, and Abigail's crew. But she didn't have to show Macy that Parker was still alive. Like it didn't make sense. But I think we realize now the reason why she did that is because she knew Parker was never gonna give her the information as to where the dagger is. So she was gonna manipulate Parker and Macy to make it seem like she was doing something good to get what she wants at the end. At the end, I respect a villain like that. She's consistently strategic. You can't be mad at her. It's like you being mad at a snake for biting you. Why? They're a snake. How that makes sense? It doesn't. she she didn't matter. I'm not saying my reasoning makes sense. I'm just saying that that's what I'm gonna stick to. I'm gonna believe that she didn't kill the driver. Even though, let's be honest, she probably did. More than likely, she did. But I just want to believe that there was a little bit of positivity inside her, and that she didn't kill her transportation. That she didn't kill the Good Samaritan that brought her all the way to Plymouth Rock from Seattle or wherever the institute was at the time. I forgot. I thought it was in Seattle. Um, but yeah, that is the belief I'm gonna have, even though it's completely wrong, and I can acknowledge that. Anyway, from there, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Abigail didn't have to show Macy that Parker was still alive. She did it for her own motives at the end, which I respect. And the only reason Parker told Macy was because he wanted her to give um, Maggie a letter from him, basically saying that he's alive and that their love shall endure forever. That's basically what I'm assuming the letter is saying, because we never actually read the letter. But when he did that, I was like, sir, first of all, Macy lies all the time. What? Second of all, not all the time, but she lies. Second of all, you are not in any position to make an ultimatum, sir. Definitely when you don't know if their half of the bargain actually comes through. When we learn later in the episode, it doesn't. Like, you really feeling like you got some power. You are stuck in a dungeon in a subterranean, like, what did you call it? Subterranean dungeon? And this is your new home, your new normal, and you think that you got leverage? Son, you might as well have asked for your freedom then. Like, come on, man. Like, that was, or at least ask that, like, Parker was being dumb too. Like, you should ask for Macy to bring Maggie, and then and then he'll tell you where the dagger is. At least that way you'll know for a fact Maggie will get you information. Not just assuming that because Macy's one of the good guys, she'll do what she promised that she was going to do. So once they get the dagger, of course, Abigail extracts her demon powers. And when that was happening, when they were talking about getting the extraction, my first thought was, where is this power going to go? Because you can't create or destroy energy. And that's basically what it is, energy. So it has to be transferred to someplace else. And I was like, Then we saw that the only way for the dagger to actually extract the powers is by taking the Overlord's blood. And I'm like, are we stupid? Like, so we're not just gonna assume that Abigail's gonna do the ingenious thing and keep the power for herself? And clearly Macy didn't assume that. And I'm like, Apocalypse, help me out here. Yeah, Abigail's been manipulating everybody around. The only person that she got under her skin is Harry, because she's sprung. But other than that, yeah, she's been doing pretty well at manipulating people. She gained Macy's trust by healing Harry. I don't think Macy really trusts her. I just think that Macy is so obsessed with trying to get to that new normal again that she'll try anything at this point. Yeah, Abigail is a genius. She's an evil genius, and I gotta respect that. But that is the long story short of it. We see later on Abigail is talking to Parker. I'm skipping one section because I'm gonna get back to it in a second. We see later on that Abigail is talking to Parker, and Parker's saying that, like we all said, she manipulated Macy to get the firepower. And the other thing that I wrote down in my notes was that Abigail was explaining to Macy that you don't understand how coveted the firepower that you have is in the demon world. And her answer, like the dumb idiot that she is at the moment, is, is I'm not in the demon world. So you don't think that she's giving you vital information, sis? Like, she's letting you know the power you have is something extremely rare, not rare, but extremely, I'm gonna say extremely rare and powerful, right? And she doesn't have it, clearly. We all know Abigail's power isn't fire. So what? And you don't think she's gonna want that? She's basically letting you know that that's a power she would want, but she doesn't have. But we just go give it to her. That doesn't make sense. Think about it, if she trusts her enough to go to take power away. That's because she only knew only one demon that can probably do it, because that's the perk of knowing the demon overlord. I don't believe in any part of my bone that Macy actually trusts Abigail. I just think that she's stupid at the moment. I don't think she trusts her. I just think that okay, this is what I think. I think that Macy thinks she can outsmart Abigail. That is what I think. I think every step of the way, Macy thinks that she knows more in some way than Abigail, that she not is more experienced, but she's a charmed one, so she can beat out Abigail and outmaneuver Abigail. And every single time, Abigail has proved her wrong. I don't think in any form or fashion that Macy actually trusts Abigail. I just think that she thinks she can outsmart Abigail, and it hasn't worked at all. And I don't think that part. I basically think that Macy's being a little overconfident and narcissistic. Like, she really thinks that she can win in the end, and that's pretty much because she's the protagonist, and that's how TV shows work. But I don't think that Macy actually trusts Abigail. Yes, she couldn't create fire. So I agree. So now you gave her the power to control and create fire. Because we saw what what Abigail can do with Macy's powers. And she only had Macy's powers for like barely a couple hours. And it was pretty epic. So Macy's dumb. Long story short of it. Is it me, or are the women, I was gonna say girls, but are the sisters getting more and more stupid? Like, I can't keep rooting for y'all when you be making the same dumb bad decisions. Because by the end of the episode, like by the end of the season, they're gonna make the demon side, like the logic for why they're doing stuff, so convincing that I might just go over there and be like, okay, this is no, we're not gonna say that word, but this is we're gonna be with the bad guys because they're making more sense at least. Like it doesn't make sense. Why are you making dumb decisions? Aren't you supposed to be the charmed ones? Weren't y'all supposed to be studying stuff? Like what? And Harry, aren't you supposed to be the white lighter? You over here being sprung on your charge for so long that you over here not realizing you are the one that's supposed to be protecting them and you're failing. You're failing, sir. So help me out here. Yeah. He was saying Abigail's manipulation is part of her demonic side. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that. Because I think Abigail's manipulation may be part of her personality, part of her defense tactics. I can see being in the demon world why her manipulation skills have increased. But I don't want to say it's part of her demonic side because you can be manipulative and be use it for good. Like it's called charismatic people. So I don't want to say that it's because of her demon side that she's good at manipulating. Her experience in the demon world has made her manipulation skills increased. I can see that. But okay. Yeah. Her demonic, yeah. I just want to give people the benefit of the doubt. I know it's dumb. I'm aware, but come on, y'all. Like the world that they live in, they have to be manipulated. So I guess yeah, it's part of their nature. But she's also part witch, and she was raised by her mother. So mm, I just want to know more about Abigail at this point because the charming ones are making dumb decisions, and it's getting my last good nerve. But I will say the quote of the episode for me was Abigail. The last couple episodes, when I wrote my quotes, I think Abigail's lines have always been in them. It says, "Emperor of nothing, get up," and I was like, "Wow, the shame. She really doesn't like Parker." Um, I haven't seen the episode for next week. I don't think I missed anything. Oh yeah, the only thing that I missed was that each person was trying to, get in where they fit in. Mel started, trying to get the new love interest, Ruby. Macy, not Macy. We don't know what she's doing with that boy. Maggie is trying to move on with Jordan, and she said, "I can finally let go of Parker." And then you see Macy want to give her the paper that Parker said to give her, and she just puts it in her pocket. And I'm like, well, this is why Parker was dumb as well. Mm, this is why I don't think, and I have new defense, y'all. This is why I don't think that being manipulative is demonic by nature, because Parker was raised by a demon. Right? Yes, a human mother loved him, blah blah blah. But he was raised by a demon, and we can clearly see that Parker is not manipulative at all. Like that boy, he can't help himself. He's just lost. Parker is easily manipulated and is a follower. Like, I rest my case. Parker is my case as to why demons are not naturally born manipulators. Then what is Parker? An oxymoron? An outlier? Is that what he is? I think that's what he is, but we're not gonna go there. Anywho, Abigail, I'm not gonna say that she was pure demon. I'm gonna say she's 95% demon. I don't know why I'm debating y'all with this. Like I don't agree with you. So is Parker. Well, no, sorry. So is Abigail. Abigail's part demon, part witch, and witches are stronger. So why wouldn't you know, no, we're not gonna give me that bounty point. I'm not gonna get this one, am I? Nope, I don't think I am. Dang it. I I should get this one, y'all. I should get that the demons are not natural manipulators, even though Parker is part demon, part human. But Abigail is part demon, part witch, and look at her. I just realized how weak my argument is. Okay, we're just gonna drop this because it's not gonna work. I'm not gonna win this one at all. Like I tried very hard, y'all. For the people who want to be on my side, I tried really hard for this argument, and it just won't work. Apocalypse keeps on destroying my arguments. My very weak with many holes arguments. Yes, I actually would prefer to see that. I would prefer to see Parker and Abigail work together and not like their petty differences stop them from, world domination. Only because then the Charmed Ones can stop playing these stupid games and focus on the problem at hand. Are we not supposed to have a demon witch war? Where the war at? I want the war. Didn't they say that this is what was gonna happen? I've yet to see. All I see is petty drama. And I'm sick of it. I want the war. I want real villains. I want the big shebang. Maybe that's what's gonna be in the next episode. I didn't see the trailer, but we shall see in what, 2 days? Is today Tuesday? Wow, and don't judge me, y'all. In 3 days. God, I hope that's 3 days. Yeah, it is. Okay. I would actually prefer to see that because that'll be kind of awesome. And I want more backstory on Abigail. And I want to see the moment when Macy realized how dumb all of her decisions has been this this whole season, and it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful. I'm gonna be petty, I know, but and it is what it is, y'all. I can't help it. The only other thing I found really weird was like this random flashback thing when she, sacrificed her powers for the idiot that she is and used the black amber. And she's like, oh, the thing's not working. And then Harry comes and tries to console her. And then they start like making out. And I'm like, bro, this can't be real. So while I'm assuming people who were like shipping them, are you trying to say grape? Why is there a W for that? But anyways, let me move my train of thought. What are we talking about? Oh yes, Macy and Harry kissing. I had like in my gut instinct, I'm like, this is not real. Only because I'm like, okay, I guess people who are shipping them were like super rap. Rap what? Oh, I just realized I missed a whole section from your note, from your commentary. That's what it was. You think it's gonna be something that happens over many years? I don't think I have the mental capacity to do that. If it drags on like this season has done, I don't think I have the mental capacity for a war that's supposed to be something that's underlying throughout the seasons, because that's gonna drive me nuts. I guess you can't wrap or the end the war between the witches in one season, but at least show me that there's a war happening. Like I, I just don't think. I think my main problem is you actually thought that they were kissing at first. I was like, nah, this got to be a dream. Literally, when I saw this happen, like this has got to be a dream. Because I'm like, aren't you? Excuse me, aren't you guys supposed to be the good guys, and you are basically cheating on your boyfriend? What's going on here? What? What? Where do we do that at? That don't make no sense. And it wasn't a. It was a dream. But I found out weird that that's what happened. Like that dream premonition thing is what happened right after the Black Amber. Was she actually started using it? So that's interesting. Maybe that's something that happens in the future. But then that would be weird because that's not her power. That is Maggie's power. But if you guys have seen the trailer, you guys will know what happens next. My premonition is to see Abigail make even more fools of themselves, because I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna be happening for the rest of the season. That she finally gets Harry in some form or fashion. It could be Jimmy as a substitute. I don't care. She finally gets Harry. Um, Maybe an alternate universe episode. That'd be kind of cool. Backstory. I just want to know more about Abigail because these people get my nerves. I agree. It's always been about war between the demon and the witches. I get that, but at least with the original series, when they were talking about, oh, there's a battle with the demons and witches, it was a little corny. It was a new demon every episode, every week. But at least we saw that they were continually getting attacked, and they were continually attacking each other and defending each other, defending, like, going back and forth, tit for tat, throughout the series. This isn't really what happened this series. So I just would like for them to figure out what they want to do with themselves. If you don't want to do the demon per episode thing because you're trying to stay away from the legacy that is the traditional original Charmed, that's fine. But give me something else. You're basically dragging this thing out, and I don't see a point of you saying that you're focusing on a battle between witches and demons when we don't really even see it even happening at all. I like Abigail, but you guys are not really afraid of Abigail. You guys don't really want to kill Abigail or any person that is the overlord, because death means nothing to anybody in this TV show now. Because when they wanted to kill, what is his name? Not the overlord. In the original Charm one, they called him something else. Not the flame. They called him the source. When they wanted to kill the source, they really wanted to kill that thing. You know that man? Like that when they were gunning for the source, definitely after Prue died, they single-minded vision and focus. Like they were coming after the source. This is not the vibe I'm getting. That's what I'm saying. We barely see a demon. Yeah, it's just confusing. I feel like they don't want to be too like negative or attack one group, so they like do the little flip floppy thing. But I'm gonna need you to stay on one side. The person on the fence is the one that I think you shouldn't trust the most. Pick a side and stick to it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And it's just getting on my nerve because there's too many love triangles. There's not enough focus on the actual issues at hand. And then that's why maybe I'm just too old for this show. Maybe that's what it is. I might be just too old for this because this is not meant for our age demographic. Maybe I don't want to believe it because I love Charmed, but the stuff that they're doing is probably meant for the younger generation because they want the younger generation to be obsessed with relationships for some reason. Yes, I believe the same thing. I think there is another person that we haven't seen. I'm assuming that by the end of the season, maybe something to like give you a cliffhanger into the second to the third season. Um, the person that is the overlord is connecting all these people, like the safe space in Seattle, Abigail and her fake overlord crew, and the evil scientists. I think they all come together by the end of the season, and then we meet the big bad. Excuse me, but I'm not seeing any of that. I'm giving them too much credit at this point, and I give people a lot of credit. Look what I'm doing with Heather. I still don't think she's a maniac. I Yeah, I do. Okay, I'm gonna let that one go. I've been enjoying it. It's just that I'm getting frustrated that we haven't like it seems very like one step forward, two steps back type of mentality. Like we finally get the plot going and the stuff going. Yeah, I figured they'd be renewed for a third season. Like I'm happy they are renewed for a third season. I just hope in the third season we don't do this like, okay, we're moving forward in the plot line and then we drag the momentum of the plot line by doing sidebars about, love triangles and this and that, and nobody really cares about that type of thing. Because it's kind of like they're doing the death of Phoebe to all of the women. Remember how like in the original all people really cared about Phoebe and a little bit of Paige was what they were doing in their relationships. But at least Paige was like focused on being a witch. That's what it feels like they're doing with all of them. It's like equal opportunity Phoebe, and I don't think I want that in this series. I. I. Know I don't want that. So. 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 I. Know I don't want that That's all I got for this episode. I hope y'all liked the review. If you guys would like to like, comment, and subscribe, that would be awesome, and I would really appreciate it. But more importantly, comment down below and continue the dialogue. Thank you, Apocalypse, for interacting with me, and I will see you guys no later than next Wednesday, because I don't know if I'll be able to do it on Sunday, because Sabbath is Friday night to Saturday night, and stuff be happening, be popping out here, and church be popping, and I'm be staying at church probably till 10 o'clock at night sometimes, even later. So can't promise that it'll be out on Saturday, and I'll be sleeping on Sunday to recuperate for all the festivities on Saturday. So yeah, I'm gonna say we're gunning for this Sunday, but if you don't see me this Sunday, I will see you before Wednesday. Okay? Thank you again for stopping by. I'm Marsha. This is Marsha Speaks. Thank you, Apocalypse, for staying with me, and have a great night. Bye, guys. Oh, that was an ugly face.